What if I told you that one of the football superstars just bought a $3 million Bugatti while the other donated his entire World Cup salary to charity? Well, these are Mbappe and Haaland. They're both generational talents dominating world football, but their spending habits are completely opposite. And by the end of this video, you'll decide who has better taste. And trust me, the answer will shock you. But before we dive into who spends what, let's talk about the money they're actually working with, because understanding their fortunes is key to understanding their choices. Kylian Mbappé, the golden boy of French football, has a net worth of $180 million. On the other hand, Erling Haaland, the Viking goal machine, has accumulated $40 million in net worth. But their spending is not what you are thinking, because it's gonna shock you. So let's start with the most visual, most insane category of them all: their car collections. Because nothing says I've made it quite like what's sitting in your garage, so buckle up, the car collection battle. But here's where it gets interesting, because Kylian Mbappé doesn't even have a driver's license. Yeah, $180 million in the bank and the man can't legally drive. But that doesn't stop him from owning an entire fleet of vehicles. His daily drivers are almost exclusively Volkswagen Group. He's also got an Audi A6 Avant for about $60,000 and a Mercedes Gull for $80,000. But the most expensive thing in his normal collection is a Mercedes V-Class at $150,000, chosen for space and comfort because the man thinks about his passengers. Meanwhile, Erling Haaland has a completely different philosophy. He owns a Hyundai Staria for $38,000, but after that, it's pure performance. Range Rover Sport over $100,000. Mercedes AMG EA63S Coupe at $117,000 with 600 horsepower. Audi RS6 Avant in Fire Engine Red for $123,000. Bentley Bentayga at $166,000. One player drives an electric car to save the planet. The other drives 600 horsepower because he can. Mbappé keeps it practical with a VW multivan for $85,000, a Cadillac Escalade for $90,000, and a VW Touareg for $110,000. Haaland, he's got a Rolls-Royce Cullinan worth $350,000, 3 tons of pure luxury that still drives like a dream. And that Ferrari SF90 Stradale Mbappé might own? Haaland definitely has one. Confirmed at over $600,000, but here's where it gets crazy. Haaland doesn't just collect fast cars, he collects hypercars. Bugatti Chiron, $3 million. Top speed 261 MF, only 500 ever made. Ferrari Monza SP2, $2 million. Limited edition and absolutely stunning. Ferrari 812 GTS, 789 horsepower of Italian engineering. Lamborghini Aventador Sfigge, 770 horsepower, over $500,000, sounds like a fighter jet. McLaren P1, 903 horsepower hybrid that hits 217 mph. Porsche 911 Turbo S, 640 horsepower. His daily driver, Audi RS7, 591 horsepower, what he calls subtle. Total value of Haaland's garage? Between $10 and $12 million. His car collection alone is worth more than most people will earn in a lifetime. Now, you might be thinking Haaland clearly loves cars. But what about where they actually live? Great question. Because their approaches to real estate are just as different as their garages, and this is where things get really interesting. Real estate showdown. Despite having $180 million, Kylian Mbappé rents most of his properties. His Paris penthouse overlooks the Eiffel Tower in one of the city's most exclusive neighborhoods. The property is valued at around $8 million. He also have a property, a $10 million mansion in Neuilly-sur-Seine featuring neutral luxury interiors, a private swimming pool, and an elite neighborhood where other French celebrities live. But these things are not the same in Haaland's life. Because his crown jewel is a $6.5 million mansion on Marbella's Golden Mile that he owns outright. And it's not just a house, but a statement. When he moved to Manchester, he considered buying Paul Pogba's $3 million mansion, but reports say he passed on it. Instead, he lives in an apartment in Manchester city centre, where other city players reside, with the location kept private for security. When he wants to get away, he goes back to his family property in Bryn, Norway, where he grew up, showing that despite all the wealth, the man still goes home. His total investment is $6.5 million plus, owned outright with no rent payments bleeding his account dry. Remember when I said Mbappe has 4 times the net worth? Well, Haaland owns more real estate, which is interesting. So, we've seen their cars and their mansions, But you know what they say, the devil's in the details. And for these guys, the details are on their wrists. You thought the cars were crazy? Wait till you see what these two are wearing every single day. Watches and wrist game. As a Hublot ambassador making $1.5 million per year, you'd think Kylian Mbappé only wears Hublot watches, but his collection reads like a luxury watch catalog. He owns a Hublot Big Bang E FIFA for $6,000, a Rolex Yachtmaster for $13,500 breaking the Hublot loyalty, Hublot Steel Diamonds for $15,600, a Millennial Pink Hublot for $2,900 showing he's not afraid of color, Hublot Songblow the 2 for $24,000, an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore for $40,000, an App Royal Oak Blue Grand Tapisserie for $65,000, a Hublot Sapphire with transparent case for $69,000, and a Hublot Rainbow for $94,000 as his most expensive piece. His total collection is worth around $500,000, with an average watch price of about $50,000. Not bad for a 25-year-old. If Mbappe collects watches, Erling Haaland hoards them in the best way possible. His Breitling partnership pays him $1 million per year, so naturally, he owns a chronomat for $5,900 and a super chronomat for $11,700. But then Haaland discovered Rolex, and things got out of control with a Submariner Starbucks for $19,000, Submariner Hulk for $28,000, Submariner Smurf for $47,000, GMT Master 2 Root Beer for $48,000, Day-Date President models ranging from $74,000 to $90,000, Daytona Green Dial for $96,000, Daytona Platinum for $129,000, and Daytona Eye of the Tiger for $175,000. Most people stop at Rolex, but not Haaland, who went for the holy grails of watchmaking with a Vacheron Constantin Overseas Rose Gold for $100,000, a Patek Philippe Nautilus Moonphase for $125,000, and a Patek Philippe Nautilus for $140,000, the most sought-after watch in the world. Then there's his Audemars Piguet collection with a Royal Oak Double Balance for $152,000, Royal Oak Concept Black Panther for $170,000, Royal Oak Perpetual Calendar for $300,000, and Royal Oak Jumbo Extra Thin for $350,000. But the crown jewel is the Micro MLSPC Haaland Golden Boy, a one-of-one custom piece made specifically for Erling Haaland, with a 42 E-Meme forged carbon case and black titanium bezel, with an unknown market value, but definitely six figures minimum. His total collection is over $2 million, with an average watch worth over $100,000. But here's where Haaland surprised everyone. At his Dortmund farewell, he gifted every single teammate and coach a personalized custom-engraved Rolex totaling $500,000, essentially giving away what Mbappe's entire collection is worth. Watches are impressive, but what about when these guys need to fly? If you thought the car collections were excessive, wait till you see how they travel. Private travel. When Kylian Mbappé signed his contract with PSG, he made a bold demand, a private jet to use whenever he wanted. But PSG's response was a no. So Mbappé does what any multimillionaire would do. He regularly books a Bombardier Challenger 350 at $7,000 per hour. Think about that for a moment. A 2-hour flight from Paris to Madrid costs him $14,000, just like that. One trip, gone. The aircraft features a sleek interior that seats 9 passengers, offering pure luxury at 40,000 feet. And when he wants to relax on the water, he charters a Prestige 680 yacht for $6,500 per day, or $37,900 per week. This 70-foot modern yacht cruises at 25 knots and sleeps 8 guests in absolute luxury. So Mbappé rents everything. Cars driven by others. Apartments. Jets. Yachts. Seeing a pattern? Hold up. This is where Erling Haaland flexes differently. Haaland also rents private jets when he needs them. He's been spotted using a Bombardier Challenger 605 from VistaJet for $5,500 per hour, an aircraft that seats 12 passengers and has a 4,000 nautical mile range. He's also chartered the Bombardier Challenger 850 for $11,000 per hour, which seats 19 passengers and can fly from Europe to Asia non-stop. Built in 2008 but fully modernized with every luxury feature imaginable. But then Haaland did something Mbappé hasn't done. He bought a plane. A Piper M600. A $3 million purchase. This long-range, single-engine aircraft seats 6 passengers comfortably and has a 1,650 nautical mile range, modern interior, complete freedom. He owns a plane. All right, we've talked about the cars, the watches, the jets, and the mansions. But here's what really matters. Because at the end of the day, what separates a rich person from a great person is what they do for others. The charity twist. Kylian Mbappé was just 19 years old when France won the 2018 World Cup in Russia. Named Best Young Player of the tournament, he earned over $500,000 in bonuses and match fees. But what he did with that money was surprising. Because he donated every single dollar. 4 years later, France reached the 2022 World Cup final again. Mbappé was the tournament's top scorer with 8 goals, winning the Golden Boot. He earned even more money. What did he do? He donated it all. Again, he founded Inspired by KM, an organization helping underprivileged children achieve their dreams. To this day, he donates all of his French national team earnings to charity. Rumored total? Over $1 million. Mbappé once said, "I've always wanted to give back. I have everything I need, so why not help those who don't?" But on the other hand, when Erling Haaland left Borussia Dortmund for Manchester City in 2022, he did something unexpected. He gifted every single teammate and coach a personalized Rolex watch, custom engraved for each person. Beyond that, Haaland is a shareholder in hypercars, a sports recovery technology company that helps athletes perform better. He has a partnership with Viaplay for exclusive sports content. Haaland keeps his charitable giving private. He doesn't publicize it the way Mbappe does. So there you have it, the $300 million spending war between two football legends. But the real question is, who has better taste? Drop your vote in the comments section, and if you made it this far, hit that like button and subscribe for more football luxury breakdowns. See you in the next one.